well, that went pretty much exactly the way I thought that was going to go. Maybe not exactly the way I thought that was going to go. I thought we would have shown a little more fight, but if you would have told me yesterday the Bears are going to lose to the Chiefs 41-10, I'd be like, that sounds about right. And that's really unfortunate that we've gotten to this spot in the year already. At this point, I'm ready to hit the panic button here. Like, I'm ready. I'm done. Like, this is horrible. Absolutely terrible. It's week 3. It's our 3rd game of the season. We've already gotten blown out twice. All 3 of our losses have been by multiple scores. We're 0-3 in a year where, by all means, we should be 1-2, 2-1. We should not. I could have seen us being 0-3 by this point, but I did not think that we would look this bad the whole way. Every step of the way, every part, every phase of the game, absolutely pathetic. And I have a hard time trying to pin it onto one thing. There's so many things wrong with this team. You got the defense that is so injured at this point, I don't even know what they're supposed to be. Eddie Jackson didn't play. In the game, Jalen Johnson and Tyreek Stevenson got hurt. Kyler Gordon's been out for a while. That's all of our starters in our secondary except for Jaquan Brisker. And even he has gotten rattled all 3 games this season. He's had to take snaps off because of, he's gotten hurt somehow. So, of course, with a secondary comprised of entirely backups, UDFAs, late round picks, Mahomes torched us. They would have put up 70 on us like the Dolphins did to the Broncos if you could tell they just took their foot off the gas. They put in Blaine Gabbert, he threw a couple picks and it was whatever. DJ Moore got a touchdown late in the game. But like the defense, that's one thing. I knew they'd be bad because they've been bad. But the offense, the entire team just gave up today. Gave up. Especially the offense, where I didn't even think Justin. I can't even think of anything Justin did that was bad or good. Like he was just there, but it felt like our receivers weren't trying. Our O-line was getting blown up, and when Fields did have time to throw, he was hesitating. He did run a little bit, but the Chiefs were reading us like a book. It felt like every single play we were doing, they knew exactly what we were doing. Exactly. They jumped on it so fast. And this isn't even a Chiefs team that's looked like the Chiefs that we know the last couple of weeks. This is a problem. Absolutely. And I don't even know what you do to fix this. Like, it's that bad of a dumpster fire. Like, we've had bad seasons before. We've had disappointing seasons before, too. 2019 was pretty disappointing, but was that a horrible season? No. We've had horrible seasons. 2016 was really bad, but did we expect that? Yes. This is looking like not only a disappointment, but just a complete turn in the other direction to just being a dumpster fire of just suck. Just what? I don't know where we go from here. That's the problem. We're going to have 2, looks like top 5, top 10 picks because the Panthers look pretty bad too. And it's looking like we're heading right into first overall pick territory. Like, I watched the Broncos and the Dolphins game. We face the Broncos next. The Broncos are bad, really bad. The Broncos looked better in that game against the Dolphins than we did. That 70-20 loss, 70-20. They looked a lot better than we did today against the Chiefs. I don't know how we win a game playing like this. I genuinely don't. And this is a team that is not untalented. We've made a lot of improvements. But how do we show more fight last year when our wide receivers were Equanimeous St. Brown and N'Keal Harry? Our quarterback had no O-line. First-year play caller Luke Getsy. Our defense was injured. We lost Roquan Smith, Robert Quinn, all those guys. How do we show more fight in those games, have all these one-score losses, and then we go out this year, everybody's healthy week 1. Yeah, people got hurt on the defense, but how does the offense look this bad? What happened? The Bears are the kind of team where you bring in a different head coach, or a head coach that knows what they're doing, or maybe like a young offensive coordinator, like that guy out of the Chargers who used to be in Dallas. I don't know, Kellen Moore, that's him. The Bears feel like the kind of team that, like when Sean McVay took over the Rams, immediately they went 11-5 and they looked great. He took over for Jeff Fisher and people were like, what were they doing all those years? That's what this team feels like. Because I know the talent is there. We all do. We've seen these players be good. And these coaches just aren't getting anything out of them. Absolutely nothing out of them. Pathetic effort every step of the way. From a culture coach that's supposed to instill discipline and hard work into their players. Everybody's bought out by week 3 of this season that we're supposed to be sneaky playoff contenders. I don't know how this all went so wrong, but the Bears are the type of team that it feels like if you bring in one of these young offensive coordinators, they're just going to all of a sudden spring to life. And it's just so frustrating because this has been year after year after year. I see Bears fans reminiscing over the Matt Nagy days already. How are we this pathetic? How are we this lost? I'm absolutely dumbfounded. Week 1, you could have told me was a fluke. Week 2, you could have said we were unlucky. Now, what do you even say? Yeah, that's a Chiefs super team, but they did not look that good the last couple of weeks. You cannot convince me that this is what we are supposed to look like. God. And I'm just so done. I'm just so tired. You bring in a guy like DJ Moore who still has, just no targets. And then he did this game. He finally got one and he drops it. We're begging for this guy. He went out yesterday or last week. He was in that mic'd up clip where one of the Bucs defenders was like, "Oh, they ain't using you right." And DJ was like, "Oh yeah, tell me about it." I was like, "All right, DJ. If you really think that, you can't be dropping big plays like that. That would have helped us. That would have changed the momentum a little bit." As soon as that happened, I was like, yeah, no, we're laying down. This ain't happening. And by the end of the game, you could just tell no one was trying. Darnell Mooney, what are you even doing anymore? He barely has anything this year. Chase Claypool is such a disaster for this team too. And DJ Moore should be so much more than he is. And then there's the quarterback. Justin is... he still doesn't look good. After we talked all about how they were going to expand the offense and how he was frustrated that he wasn't being allowed to play free, he goes out this week and he looks... I don't even know. It looked like they knew exactly what our play calls were, but Justin wasn't making anything. He was just kind of like... It was a very uninspiring performance from a guy that's in year 3, supposed to be taking that step forward like Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen and Tua Tagovailoa did. We set the blueprint right there, but it's not going that way, and there's a lot of factors you can point to. But this can't keep happening. It can't. So, Bears, you guys got to figure something out. Because, our schedule gets easier, but playing like this against these teams that we have coming up, like the Vikings and the Raiders and the god-awful Broncos, I don't think we beat any of these teams. So we need to turn something around. Otherwise, this is you're going to lose a lot of fans here. You're going to get a lot of people that are going to say that you've bait and switched me for the last time. I don't think I'm one of those people, but boy, am I getting there. And a lot of people feel the same way. George McCaskey, you have to set... I'm hesitant to say that you need to fire them tomorrow, because then it's just the whole thing is going to be burning down. But you cannot let him stay after this year. You can't let any of these guys stay after this year. Ryan Poles, you could convince me to let him stay. But what he's building right now is not working. Where you have this sustained success he's trying to build, where he doesn't overpay for guys. He sets his price, and he signs players that are willing to play for his price. And it's like, fine. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But this is not how you construct a defense, my friend. That D-line is sorry. Still can't stop the run. Haven't been able to stop the run for years. And then Poles was the one that hired Eberflus, and this whole organization from top to bottom is just... God, so bad. Just pathetic. This team gave up today, and we still have 14 games left. I don't think we'll turn it around. I don't think I'll still be watching by the end at this rate. And I just don't have the words to describe just how hollow and disappointing this whole season is. And it's only week 3. And you have guys giving up. You have locker room problems. You have your DC resigning. You could be like the 2021 Raiders with all their turmoil, where you could use that and win in spite of that turmoil. But it looks like they're going to be the 2014 Bears and just wither away and die. So buckle in, because this sucks. And I don't see it getting any better.